Hey 49er fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Chat Sports, and today, let's go ahead and react to the 49ers' 27-13 loss to the New Orleans Saints. It literally just ended here, evening time, East Coast, on a Sunday. I want to jump on and give you guys my instant reaction. I mean, we're going to get into this in a lot more detail, but it felt like a winnable football game. It felt like without some turnovers and without some pretty bad calls by the refs, this could have been a football game the Niners could have won. It was exciting to at least see them be competitive in this game. I don't know if you're going to be glass half full, glass half empty in terms of watching this. Kind of tough looking at the rest of the NFC West today. More on that a little bit later. But a very interesting game overall for San Francisco. Kind of what the team is going to look like, it seems, for the foreseeable future due to all the current injuries they currently have on their roster. I'm very curious what your guys' one-word reaction to this loss was. Like, let me know in the comment section. There'll be a pinned comment. What's your one-word reaction? I think mine is interesting, because the 49ers right now, to me, are an interesting football team. Are they a good football team? No, but are they a bad football team? I don't know if I can say that, because to me, they battled well and they battled hard against the New Orleans Saints. The jury's still on Nick Mullens. We'll get to that in 1 second, but I'm curious your guys' one-word reaction in the comment section down below. Speaking of Nick Mullens, what'd you think? I mean, this is Nick Mullens' team for the foreseeable future, and obviously a lot of people are, or were at least, very high on Nick Mullens because they thought that Garoppolo was the issue. I think Nick Mullens is giving you what we expect Nick Mullens to give you, and that is a better than average quarterback play from a backup quarterback. I mean, he made some nice throws, he had some good drives, but in the end, just not enough. And you know, a couple of turnovers there are an issue. I don't know if you blame the second turnover late in that football game on him. He's trying to force the ball down multiple scores. Like, you don't really blame him there. But this is a very, average day from an average quarterback. Now, you got to compare it to what you would have had with Jimmy Garoppolo, and to me, I think Garoppolo gives them a lot better chance to win, but with Garoppolo injured, this is what you get the rest of the year so far, at least. Based on what we've heard with the high ankle sprain for Jimmy Garoppolo in Nick Mullens. He did come out of the game for a little bit there. They brought CJ Beathard in, and CJ Beathard could have thrown a touchdown there if he hadn't been cold on that 3rd and 21 deep ball. But, alas, it seems like to me it'll be Mullens the rest of the way. I'm curious if there's anyone out there that would want to try Beathard based on what you saw today. To me, again, Mullens wasn't great, but I don't think it's worthy of benching him for CJ Beathard. But I'll leave the question up to you guys. Who should start the rest of the season at quarterback? Again, knowing that, of course, Jimmy Garoppolo is currently injured. I want to know what you guys think about this question down below in the comment section. All right, moving over to the running game here. San Francisco struggled again running the football. As you see, Jerick McKinnon, stats compared to JaMycal Hasty. They tried to really feed Jerick McKinnon in this game. 18 carries, but the 1.8 yards per carry just not getting it done. And that's been kind of the case right now for Jerick McKinnon the past couple of weeks with the absence of Raheem Mostert and with the absence of Tevin Coleman. And this is what you get for a run-first team not really having a true #1 running back, which has been absolutely brutal so far all year long. Even though they try to get the ball to Hasty, he gets hurt in the end. We'll talk more about that here in just 1 second. But the whole idea that Jerick McKinnon would be able to kind of hold down the fort wall you've had, Mostert hopefully coming back in 2 weeks, and then, of course, Coleman hopefully coming back in 2 weeks as well. It just hasn't really worked out. They tried really hard to get him going, and they tried really hard in this game again today, just unable to kind of get things going from a running game perspective. And this is, again, it's a run-first football team, and that's what Kyle Shanahan wants to do first and foremost, run the football and then play action and find your tight ends and your wide receivers across the middle. When you're unable to do that, the offense tends to sputter, as you saw there in the second half. Most notably also here, we officially have word that JaMycal Hasty is done for the year with his collarbone injury. He, of course, suffered that later on in the second half. This is another brutal blow to the 49ers running back depth chart, which has just been absolutely obliterated. And Hasty's a guy that they wouldn't get him as featured as I thought he would whenever it was eventually him and McKinnon as the 1-2 punch, and they really didn't feed him much in this game, but still, another brutal blow to the 49ers running back chances. The good news is that, of course, they have a bye week coming up here in this week, and the hope is that Raheem Mostert and Tevin Coleman, at least one of them, could be able to come back in 2 weeks whenever they play their next football game. So more updates on that will obviously come, but right now, kind of the breaking news that'll take place in this video is JaMycal Hasty is officially done for the year, suffered a season-ending injury in this football game, meaning if, for whatever reason, that Raheem Mostert is not able to play next week and McKinnon's like their only running back and then the practice squad guy they elevated, look for them to go to the waiver wire or perhaps back to the practice squad and promote another running back just to have depth chart to be able to carry on in that game. Just spam F in the chat right now for all the running back injuries that the 49ers have had. It's just, not even just running back injuries, just the injuries as a whole. It's been absolutely brutal, the amount of injuries that they had. Let us know. Again, spam F down below in the chat. All right, well, we got to bring it up. This is the time where we got to pay you guys money. If you did, our 49ers will for sure cover against the 49ers bet, brought to us with our partners here at BetUS. So earlier on this week, I told you guys, listen, the spread was 10.5. If you bet on the 49ers to cover, it's going to win. I felt very confident about this. I felt confident about it all the way up to the fourth quarter. And then, of course, it didn't hit. So, if you guys went to chatsports.com/49bet and put your deposit down, use the promo code Niners125. You can still do, by the way, for future bets. But if you did this past week and you took my advice, took the 49ers to cover, and it didn't work, obviously, because the 49ers did not cover, well, we are going to go ahead and make up your guys' losses up to $50 and make sure you guys get paid for your loss. So, we set up an email, and if you guys did use BetUS to bet on the 49ers to cover, and of course, it didn't happen, email us at 49ers@chatsports.com. You'll see it down below me right here. Again, 49ers@chatsports.com, and up to $50 of what you bet, we will cover and we will Venmo to you guys, so get those emails in as quickly as possible. Obviously, next week is a bye week, so in 2 weeks from now, I'm sure we'll go ahead and do another one of these, can't lose bets that we're going to do. But if you guys want to keep betting on other NFL games, go to chatsports.com/49bet. Keep using that promo code Niners125 to get a 125% deposit bonus whenever you first sign up. Let's be positive for a second. How about Brandon Aiyuk? He's really coming into his own, just like I predicted he would after the struggles early on in the year. It's Deebo Samuel all over again. Deebo was very average last year early, and then blossomed when he started to figure out the Kyle Shanahan offense, and this is no different for Aiyuk. Now, he's getting a lot of targets. He had 14 in this game, mainly due to the fact that there are no other good wide receivers currently healthy because Deebo is out, but a great touchdown catch. I thought he was really, really good whenever they were throwing him the football. That diving catch on the sideline that Nick Mullens threw to him was really great. It's fun to see Aiyuk start to come into his own, and I'll say it again. I don't want to make you make excuses because, ifs and buts, right, candies and nuts, whatever that phrasing is. If they had Raheem Mostert, and if they had Jimmy Garoppolo, and really if they had Deebo Samuel, I think the offense looks pretty good. 13 points today, could have been 21, 24 points easily with a little bit more firepower, but they don't have it, so we can't just keep making that excuse. You got to win football games eventually. Defensively, I'm going to be honest. I thought the defense played very well. I thought the defense played as good as you could hope for against what is a very offensively talented team in the New Orleans Saints. Alvin Kamara is a beast. And now, obviously, Alvin Kamara is very difficult to go ahead and cover at any given time, and he still had a very good day. We'll talk about that in a second. But still, 238 total yards, $123 through the air. Now, the Drew Brees injury is, that's a whole different thing. But still, $115 on the ground. I thought they were really, really good getting off the field on third down. I mean, the Saints were only 2 of 11. Turnovers, don't happen. This game is a lot closer as you look at what the final score actually was. Also, the defensive line, pass rush perspective, I mean, they were all over the place. They were really, really good. One of those two pass rushers, Hyder, DJ Jones, should be your defensive MVP. Let me know who the defensive player is. Player of the day is down below in the comment section. Also, side note, that sack on Drew Brees that was called roughing the passer, oh my gosh, tackling the quarterback with the football is no longer allowed. Apparently that's what's happening. That was unbelievable, by the way. And that it cost him points. Whew, that was bad. Speaking of bad, Drew Brees did leave the game injured. It appears to be a rib injury. They didn't rule him out. They said he was questionable at halftime. You're probably watching the game. You saw this. He had his helmet on. He looked like he was ready to go. I think they didn't want to risk it, so they brought Jameis Winston in, who was, fine, a backup quarterback. He wasn't anything special. I mean, he did enough to win and then throw a pick 6, so congrats to Jameis Winston. But this is something to keep an eye on in the NFC because if the Niners were to squeak into the postseason, we'll talk about that more in a little bit, this is a team that you could face in the first round of the playoffs or maybe in the second round of the playoffs in New Orleans because they're a 1 or a 2 seed right now depending on where we're standing. But an interesting matchup, an interesting thing to keep an eye on there with Drew Brees getting injured. Make sure you guys are subscribed, though, because I think there will be some people coming back from injury after the bye week, and so make sure you're up to date on that. And, of course, the Niners are still alive, despite the fact that they did lose this football game. I don't know how you're supposed to stop Alvin Kamara. I mean, he's fantastic. 83 yards receiving, 3 total touchdowns. It's not the Niners' fault they couldn't slow him down. I thought Warner would do a little bit better of a job. I don't know if he was... I mean, he didn't do a poor job, and he wasn't always in coverage. Greenlaw was in coverage sometimes. They put Ward on him sometimes. Kamara's just a beast, and he's the best running back out of the backfield right now in the National Football League. So, what are you going to do? I mean, this is what this game felt like a what are you going to do game, right? The turnovers, I mean, the special teams errors, Mullens playing average, injured people. I mean, what are you going to do? This is a team that is not supposed to be as good as the New Orleans Saints, and yet for a while there, I think the Saints were pretty scared. I felt really good. And then it all slipped through their fingers. Quickly, let's check out the wild card standings because all the other games are officially over right now. Bucks would go ahead and be the #1 seed. Sorry, this is the wild card rankings. We have my facts straight. Bucks would have the first wild card spot. Rams would be #2. Seattle would fall down at 6-3 because the Cardinals hold the NFC West tiebreaker for both the Rams and the Seahawks. That DeAndre Hopkins catch, I mean, unbelievable. Arizona's a real issue Bears, Lions, and then San Francisco sitting there at 4-6. Chicago plays Monday night. Maybe it's tonight because, I don't know, it's Sunday right now, but you could be watching this tomorrow. Bears, of course, have a chance to lose against the Vikings, which would be helpful for the 49ers. But long way to go, but man, that schedule coming up. I mean, the Rams won today. The Bills almost won today. Washington, not very good. Cowboys, not very good. Cardinals, pretty good. Next 5 games, you're either going to be in the playoff contention or the 49ers be eliminated really quickly. So we're going to find out very, very fast just how good San Francisco is. You think they're going to make a playoff run, though? Like, do you think they can actually make the postseason? 4-6 is tough to do. I mean, you basically got to win out. Maybe one more loss. Ooh, it's looking bleak. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. There you go. Ultimately, out for today here. I want to jump on late on a Sunday night, get you guys the update on the 49ers. Man, it's tough. I thought that they really had a shot on that one. Turns out, just not the case. Again, ultimately out for today. For Chat Sports, I'm Thomas Mott signing off. To the rest of your day.